Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? It's Charles, and we are here in the little tiny village of Sicevo, Serbia. Sicevo is a little village of about 400 or 500 people, and it's located like maybe 20 kilometers, about 20 minutes by car, southeast of Niš on the road to Pirat. And this down here is absolutely amazing, this part of Serbia. And it's one reason I came down to live in South Serbia is because some of the views you can kind of see behind me. You've got these massive cliffs and all of these untouched forests and everything. My friend here, he's from Australia, or he's a Serbian. His family's lived here in this little village for generations and generations. They have a home here they started building. We're going to go inside and show you a little bit about the homes. And it's such a beautiful place. The air up here is clean. They've got something they do here that's kind of funny. My father's a farmer back home. And in the USA, when we harvest corn and soybeans and such, or corn, we harvest it for the kernel. Here in Serbia, in some of these corn cribs, you would call it, they have the whole ears. So they're out there a lot of times by hand cutting their crops, and then they put them in these wraps. I don't really know what for. We're going to find out a little bit later, but they do things like it's 200 years ago, you know. They use everything. They use, you know, they work all summer long preparing for winter. So they have enough to survive on through the winter, because up here, I'm sure, if it snows and snows, it's difficult to get to town. So really amazing, gorgeous place with beautiful views. And we're going to show you a little bit more here in just a little bit. A Serbian home in one of these villages, they're almost, I would say 99% of them are made of concrete. And a lot of these homes, they start out, you'll notice a lot of them being very large, but they don't usually start out that way. Here in Serbia, a lot of times when people build a home, they'll build it just a little bit and add on to it as their family grows and everything. So you'll go into a lot of Serbian homes and a lot of these village homes, and it might be 2 stories like this one, but 1 story is all they're really living in at the time, and then when they get a little bit more money, they'll slowly finish the top. But this place here, when you come out here, you've got a gorgeous view of these massive cliffs behind us, these cliffs over here. Just absolutely, it would be an amazing place to just wake up and smell this and, you know, and everything. It's really nice. We're over here. We came back to the back of this little home, and I'm still eating on my apple. These are delicious apples. But one thing they do here, that almost every single person here has their own animals. So it's not like these people wake up in the morning for breakfast and they have to run down to the shop to purchase eggs or milk or anything like that. They actually have it right here. You know, this is, you know, a really neat experience. I think it would be a great way for tourism to take a foothold in this area, because people, I think to get a city person to come and live this way for like a week or so would be a phenomenal experience. It would teach us all a little bit about ourselves and about, you know, the earth and the healthy lifestyle. I think it's something that could really catch on. So we got tons of chickens here. So they eat the meat, they eat their eggs. Phenomenal. Oh my God, it was fantastic. I just walked down here. There's so many fruit trees. There's grapes growing. It's just a really great place to get healthy, you know, and that's something I need. I think living out here for a little bit could really change my life. Back in the city, I eat like pljeskavica and fried grilled food every single day. Very rarely eat fruits. Here, I've walked like 5 meters, or I don't know, 5 feet, and I've eaten grapes and apples that are growing all over the place. Unbelievable. Something I wanted to show you because I find it very interesting being from the USA. This is something that they do here in Serbia. This thing here is called a corn crib. And like I told you earlier, in the USA, one of these little things here, this is called a kernel of corn. This is called an ear of corn. And what they do in Serbia, they harvest the whole ear, you know, rather than just a kernel. We have a big combine that will tear all these little kernels off, and we just keep that. But in Serbia, they like to use the cob. This is called a corn cob. And the reason being, many homes and like summer kitchens and things like that, they use these to heat the home. So, you know, they're using every piece of everything here. You know, there's very little waste. And it's really nice to see that people are still living this way and still taking care of the environment and things like that. You know, this is what we could all learn a lesson from a Serbian village. So anyway, I just thought this was something interesting to show you. I'll show you more in a bit. In this other part of this shed, man, it is so neat. They have got...
Ovdje sam med na Zelandu, u Australiju, ja odu u Ameriku sa vino, jebote mogu. A? Može.
They're in their house, they've got...
Ej, Joe, u pičku, daj ga zove ga sam pao.
They've got this whole section over here where they're doing nothing but grapes and rock here. It's fantastic. They've got this massive thing here. This big barrel filled with grapes. I mean, it's clear up to here, all with grapes. They let it sit and ferment in here maybe for 6 months or so. And they've got the Rocky machines behind me. This wonderful gentleman here gave me this bottle of wine. And he said, to make sure we said, that they do not do this for capitalistic purposes. They don't do this to make money. He gives this to his friends. He does this for the love of wine. And he gave me this bottle. In the bottom of a wine, you can tell there's crystals in here that naturally forming. If there's any sort of preservatives or anything put in it, they will not form. So that's a good way to tell if it's really a natural wine or not. And it's called Hunter's Story. He's a hunter, so he's got his gun and everything on here. And he gave me this. What a wonderful person. That's it. This is another view of the primary school here in Sicevo, and you can see the school is in phenomenal shape. You know, one difference, the other side is even more beautiful, but they said here, like I think I told you earlier, if something goes wrong with something in the school, the villagers here will go fix it instead of waiting on the government to do it. So they actually care for their stuff a little bit more than other places. And there's also a really nice little soccer field out here, you know, where the kids come at night, they turn the lights on, they play soccer down here. And this, the school system in Serbia, how it kind of works, even the small little tiny villages like this have their own school for people like kindergarten through 8th grade. Once you reach 8th grade, then they have to go to the biggest city, like the head of the Opština. It's kind of like in the US, you have like a county seat, and the rest of the schools will come to the county seat. That's kind of how it is here, but they do that for high school. So you've got kids here from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade, and there's only about 100 and so students in this town. And we've got people from like both sides of the camera, left and right, like watching us here. So it's probably a strange thing to see two people speaking English with cameras and microphones. Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, we're here at my friend's uncle's bee farm here, and there's like 50 of these little homes here, And this is some of the most natural honey that you will ever taste. His wife or his aunt or whatever, or his sister or whatever, brought us a little bowl of this honey, and it's so clear. It's like a really clear honey. Beautiful, beautiful taste. These bees, everything that they eat is untouched. There's no additives, no nothing. He gave me my little protection here, just in case, you know, bees come out, and thank God there's not that many. There's just a few running in and out, so I haven't had any issues yet. Hopefully I'll get stung on camera. But this gentleman has, for 13 years, he's harvested honey. All he does with this honey, once he gets it, he'll like take it to the piazzas, little markets in town, and sells it. And we're trying to find a way to get this on the market, you know, so other people around the world can sample this stuff. It's awesome, awesome honey that you're not going to find anywhere else, you know. All these bees are eating this beautiful food and stuff and flowers and things that are growing here. So really, really interesting thing, and it's cool to see all these bees. And I know in the USA we had a big issue that was just in National Geographic and stuff. There's a big lack of bees. And they said, like, if the bees were to be extinct today, the earth would almost crumble in very, very short time, because they play such a big role in, you know, the reproduction of crops and everything that we eat. So it's very, very important to take care of these bees. So anyway, that's it. You know what, I've said this, for those of you who watch a lot of my videos, I mention that I've seen something that I've never seen before, and it was one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. Oh my God, I think I'm there right now. This place where I'm sitting, I'm up on a rock on like one of the highest peaks in Sicevo. Down there, way down there, you can see the train track, the road, the trees, the little homes. We are here. There's a soccer field here and a basketball court here for these kids. The really, really sad thing is they've shut it down because of funding. And this, I swear, this has got to be the most beautiful location you could ever possibly have for a sports facility here. And my friend, his cousin, was I guess in charge of this, or played football here, soccer. And they said all they need is like €1,000 a year to get this field in the shape they need. In the little clubhouse there, they've got all the jerseys and everything. The ball's just sitting there on the shelves with the door locked because they don't have €1,000 for these kids to play football up here. And you'll see here in a minute some of these views here. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. I'm on a rock. There's a little bench up here. You can tell kids sit up here and drink and smoke their cigarettes and just have this view, the most gorgeous view I have ever seen. This time of year, the trees, since it's about October 15th, the trees are starting to change from yellow to red to brownish. This is just absolutely jaw-dropping, man. You know, you can see the top of the hills all the way around us. You can see this big, massive valley. You've got Niš way back that way. You've got Bulgaria back that way. So we are in the heart of one of the most gorgeous places on the planet. We are standing in one of the most beautiful spots here in Sicevo. We have walked around today. I've got so much exercise. I've eaten some awesome, awesome fruit, drank some homemade rakia, some homemade wine. I've got a big bottle of homemade wine. I tried some honey, and oh my God, the day is almost over. The sun's setting right across this valley, and just look at the view behind me. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous? This is Sicevo down here with about, I don't even know how many homes. Looks like maybe 300, 200, I have no idea. But had an awesome, awesome time. Came to one of the most beautiful spots I've ever seen. And this is a place, it's definitely some place you have to come. There was a gentleman here that came here from New Zealand. He came here, he cried. He was here for 2 weeks or something like that. He didn't want to leave. He was so shocked at Serbian hospitality. And it's the absolute truth. Everywhere you go, they don't care that you're an American, that you're from England, from where you're from. They're all friendly to everybody. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for your time and watching, and this is a great place to come. Come check it out.